Good morning, students. Today we are discussing NCERT textbook question answers and back exercises given in the book. So, some of the questions are from the omitted and deleted portion. So, we will not discuss them. 1, 2, 3, 4. These questions we will not. These are omitted questions. Next question is draw a sketch of Bohr's model of an atom with 3 shells. So this is a nucleus in the center. Nucleus contains protons and neutrons, so it is positively charged. And then there are 3 or 4 shells. So the first shell is K shell. Its number given is 1. First shell K shell, second shell L shell, and third shell is M shell having number 3. So this is how we have to draw the structure of atom, that is model of an atom suggested by Bohr. Next question is, what do you think would be the observation? So this question is again deleted portion. Don't go for that. Name the subatomic particles of an atom. Yes, electrons, protons and neutrons are the 3 subatomic particles present inside the atom. Next question. Helium atom has an atomic mass of 4U and 2 protons in its nucleus. How many neutrons does it have? Students, every time we know that whenever we have to find out the number of neutrons, what we will do? Mass number minus atomic number. So number of protons is the atomic number and mass number is also given. So number of protons is 2, that is atomic number is 2. And number of neutrons is equal to mass number minus atomic number. What is mass number? 4. What is atomic number? 2. So number of neutrons will be 2. So if number of protons is given, then you should know that it is the atomic number of the element. Mass number minus atomic number gives us number of neutrons. The next question is, write the distribution of electrons in carbon and sodium atom. So for this answer, for writing this answer, you should know the atomic number of carbon and sodium atom. What is the atomic number of carbon? 6. So now if atomic number is 6, that means number of electron is also 6. So now how can we distribute these 6 electrons? So to write down the electronic configuration, we have to write down the shells, KL. First shell will have 2 electrons and the second shell will have 4. So this is electronic configuration, that is electron distribution in carbon atom. Next is atomic number of sodium. It's 11, right? That means the total number of electrons is also 11. So how are these 11 electrons distributed? Yes, we have to write down first KLM, 3 shells. And 11 electrons will be distributed as 2 in the first shell, in the second shell 8 electrons, in the third shell 1 electron. So total 11 electrons are distributed like this. The next question is, if K and L shells of an atom are full, then what would be the total number of electrons in the atom? We all know now that what is the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in the K shell? K shell has got for number 1. So to find out, what is the formula to find out the number of electrons in the K shell? 2n square. That means n is the number of shell. So 2 into 1 square is 2. So in K shell 2 electrons can be accommodated. And in the maximum electrons that can be accommodated in the L shell is also can be found out by this formula. 2n square. 2 into n is 2. That is the number of the shell is 2. 2 square is 4. 4 into 2, 8. So 8 electrons can be accommodated in the L shell. So what is the question? If K and L shells are full, that means they contain full electrons, 2 and 8. That means total electrons are 10. What would be the total number of electrons? Yes, it is 10. 2 plus 8, 10. So it is simple that if K and L shells are full, that means they have 2 and 8 electrons, completely filled shells. And that's why total number of electrons will be 2 plus 8, that is 10 electrons. Next question is, how will you find out the valency of chlorine, sulfur and magnesium? Again, for this you should know the atomic number of chlorine. It is 17. Sulfur, it is 12. It is 16. Magnesium is 12. Now we have to write down the first. For finding out the valency, we should write down the electronic configuration, that is distribution of electron. Atomic number of chlorine is 17. So distribution of electrons will be 2, 8, 7 in KLM shells. So now outermost shell has 7 electrons. So now to complete its octet, we all know that if the element gets 8 electrons in its outermost orbit, it will become very stable. So how many electrons does a chlorine require? 1 more electron is required. So that's why to complete its octet, it requires 1 more electron. And that's why what is the valency of chlorine? 1. Okay, that is the tendency of an atom to lose or gain electron. So what is the tendency of chlorine? To get 1 electron to complete its octet. And that's why valency of chlorine is 1. Now atomic number of sulfur is 16. Distribution of electron 2, 8, 6. So 6 electron in its outermost orbit. Now how many more electron it requires to complete its octet? 8. For 8 obtaining octet, it requires 2 more electrons. So that means valency of sulfur is 2. To gain 2 more electrons. That means in this way we know that valency is equal to 2. That means 8 is the maximum electron it should accommodate, but it has 6 electrons. So if we 8 minus 6 if you do, you get 2 electrons. So from this also you can know how many more electrons are required. 2 more. That's why valency of sulfur is 2. Next is atomic number of magnesium is 12. Distribution of electron 2, 8, 2. 12 electrons. So how many electrons does it have in its outermost shell? 2. So what is the tendency of magnesium? To lose these 2 electrons. Okay? To get a stable electronic configuration of 2 and 8. So what is the valency of magnesium? That means, yes, it is 2. So in this way we have to find out the valency. So students, we have completed up to question number 11 in this video.